accordion book, you're going to need a sheet of paste paper, 2 1" by 3" strips of paper, 3 3" by 12" strips of paper, 2 3 by 3 board books or book boards, a pair of scissors, PVA glue, a paintbrush, a craft stick or a folding stick, and a scrap of paper. We're going to start by folding the 3" by 12" sheets of paper. Go ahead and fold your strip in half. And you can use your folding stick to make a crisp crease. And then just go ahead and fold one end down toward the center fold that you just made. And do the same on the other side. The reason why I'm doing it this way instead of folding it in half again is to make sure that the thickness of the paper isn't affecting my folds. And you can get a more even fold and book, and your book will be straighter if you fold that way. It's called an accordion book because it is made up of accordion folds. So we're going to do 2 more of the same thing. Once you have your 3 strips of paper folded, we're going to fold the smaller strips, and we're going to fold those in half the long way. So when you do this, one thing that helps is if you start on one end, line up the corners, and then just walk your way down and pinch and fold as you go, making sure to line up those edges. Go ahead and do that with both pieces. Now we're ready to glue. When you're putting your book together, you want it to go together like this. So be mindful that you're attaching these 2 pieces together in this direction, and then these 2 pieces together in this direction. Using a scrap piece of paper, you can apply the glue. This is so you don't get glue all over everything. Use your brush and put glue on one side of the strip. All right, and then we're going to put this on to our accordion folded paper. Go ahead and line up the edge of your paper with the fold in your glue strip. And once you have that lined up, you can go ahead and set it down and then press and rub, and then add glue to the other side of the glue strip. And just making sure the edge of my paper is going to the fold in my glue strip, and then folding it over and pressing and rubbing. And then go ahead and do the same thing to attach the next strip. So you have your 3 pieces of paper connected, we're ready to add the cover. So using your paste paper and your book board, go ahead and find a spot that you like and you would like to use as your cover. So I think I like this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out around the size of my book board. You can also measure, but this works just as well. You want to leave about a ½ inch around the edge. Okay, we're going to add glue to our book board and then attach it to our paste paper. Just make sure you put it on thin and evenly. And you usually have to work kind of quickly because it does dry pretty quickly. All right, center your book board over the paste paper. And then go ahead and press down. You can slide this off your table and put a hand underneath and then flip it. And use your folding stick just to smooth that out. Make sure there aren't any air bubbles. And then you can flip it back over. And then this next part, I'm going to show you the way I was taught. I've seen other people do it a little differently. I was taught to just cut straight across like this. You want to leave maybe about 1/8 of an inch between the corner of your book board and the edge of the paste paper. So I'm just cutting straight across, leaving just a little bit there by the corner. Grab your scrap paper and go ahead and start to glue one glue flap. You can bring this up and over. You can use your folding stick to press that down. Some people like to just move and work opposite edges. You can try it that way. Fold that up and over. Smooth it with your glue or with your folding stick. Okay, and then this next part, before we fold this last edge over, we're gonna just tuck in these little corners. So using your folding stick, you can just tuck in the corner. Just tuck in the corner just a little bit. And tuck in the corner. And tuck in the corner. And it's hard to know exactly what that looks like until you've done it yourself. And if you don't tuck it in, that's fine too. And you just bring that over the top. Smooth it out with your folding stick. And then you're going to do the same thing for the other cover. Ready to attach our covers. Before you do this, you want to make sure that your accordion book is actually folded into an accordion fold. So make sure that this is going in a zigzag design. And then we're going to use scrap paper again. And just placing the scrap paper in between the folds, we're going to paint the outside edges of the first section with a little bit of PVA glue. And slide that out, and then to get the back side, you can just slide that under on the other side. And then again, make sure that you're not using a piece that has wet glue on it and sticking it into your book. So then you'll get glue in places you don't want it. All right, once you have the edges glued, you can go ahead and line up your cover. And once you have it lined up, you can go ahead and press. Open it to that section and use your folding stick to smooth it out. And then just repeat on the other side. If you want to add a ribbon, you can just add some glue straight across. Center your ribbon and make sure you have equal lengths sticking out on both sides. And then you just do the whole same process, but with the ribbon inside, and then you can use this to tie your book shut. As you're working, you'll want to periodically stretch out your accordion book to make sure you haven't glued any pages together. You may need to leave it open for a while so that it can dry without gluing itself shut. And then if you don't want to use a ribbon, another alternative that you can do is you can make a sleeve. So I just have a strip of the paste paper and I'm going to wrap it around. You want it to be a little bit loose, but not so loose that it will slide off. And then you just apply a little bit of glue to the edge. And lay that down. And press and rub. And then when you want to look at your accordion book, you just slide it off. And when you're finished, you just slide it back on. You want to make sure it's a little bit loose because it's kind of hard to get on if it's too tight. And there you have it. It's an accordion book. There are lots of really cool things you can do with accordion books. For one idea, you can look at those pop-up videos that I shared, and you can put pop-ups into your accordion book. Here's another with more diverse examples of pop-ups. You can flip them and put them on the back side too. Here is a variation of an accordion book. It's called a flag book. And it has all these little flags on it. And then here is another idea is to add a story. So there are lots of things that you can do.